Let's dive in. You and I are watching the real heir crash our house, sobbing and claiming he's my parents' actual biological son. Mom freezes. Leo freezes. I freeze. Leo throws a hand up, instantly declaring we're all getting DNA tests. Mom almost collapses, desperately calling Dad in a panic. Harold, get home right now. We might have actually brought home the wrong baby. Yeah, I know. Wait, how do you already know? Remember when you said the baby cried way too much and told me to swap him? So, I found a quiet one. I meant the diaper, Harold. Change his diaper. Then Mom walked straight into my study, sounding incredibly serious. Marcus, I just can't hide this from you anymore. The crazy truth is, you aren't our real child, but we've loved you like our own every single day. And now, you must leave. I hate it, but we seriously have zero choice. Your actual parents finally found us. They're downstairs right now. And so is the real son I've never met. He looks exactly like me. Totally uncanny. Now that he's returned, I have absolutely no choice but to send you away. Please don't hate me for this. I stay perfectly quiet for a second, then hold my hand out. Phone. Isn't that billionaire romance novel still updating? How are you already acting out a brand new drama? Mom nervously squirms. The author updates way too slowly. I totally dropped it. Since you're busy, I'll just head out. Mom spins around, delivering absolute peak drama. I'm leaving now. Close the door on your way out. Thanks. Mom drops the act, sighing hard. You're so boring. Can't you play along? You're exactly like Dad. Absolutely zero fun. I just stare at her. What kind of mom treats cheesy romance novels like reality and rehearses lines for fun? Now watch this carefully. I get back to work. Then Leo bursts in. Marcus, terrible news. Your fake identity is exposed. My real brother arrived. I shake my head, almost sympathetic. You're a step too late. I already busted Mom. She never warned you, did she? I turn to Leo, giving him a super serious look. It's totally over for you. You aren't Mom's favorite anymore. She's done. Leo wildly grabs my arm. No, Marcus, listen. I'm serious. There's actually some guy downstairs claiming to be your real brother. He says you aren't our parents' actual son. He says he's the one. Mom is completely freaking out. You gotta go see for yourself. I head downstairs. There's Mom, standing next to some bleach blonde stranger who's already crying. Mom, I finally found you. You have no idea how hard my life was. Awful days, constant screaming. My heavy bruises never even got a chance to heal. They always had a favorite kid. Always. Once their second child came along, even breathing felt like a massive crime. I watch all this calmly. You and I see the truth. Congrats, Mom. Total dream come true. He looks exactly like you. We might even skip that DNA test. Mom turns to me, totally confused. She takes 2 slow steps backwards. Wait, what? Marcus, come hold me up right now. My legs are failing. But before I can even move, Ethan is already right at her side. I've got you, Mom. I'll call Dad right now. He needs to come home. I'll do it. Ethan is literally everywhere at once, making himself impossible to ignore. Do I even deserve Dad's phone number? Leo quietly mutters under his breath. Pure drama. Zero actual skill. He must be Mom's biological kid. Case closed. Leo looks directly at me. Marcus, you're finished. I'll go with you. Just take me. If you leave, don't leave me here alone. Dad walks in before anyone can explain a single thing. Don't bother. I already know. I know all about this mess. Mom just stares at him in shock. You knew? You made that terrible call back then? How convenient. You forgot every single detail. My decision? Mom rapidly blinks. Yes. Yours. You complained the baby cried way too much. You said he kept you up all night. You told me to switch him out. So, I just found a quiet one. My jaw totally drops. Mom, did you seriously say that? I meant the diaper. Change the freaking diaper. Ethan and I just awkwardly stared right at each other. Mom, Dad, please don't blame Marcus for any of this chaos. Yes, he played fake son for 20 years, living the perfect life that should have been mine. But None of this is his fault. Please don't kick him out. I won't even ask you to officially acknowledge me. I don't even need to move in. Just let me stay here as the housekeeper. I'll serve you. Just being near you is enough. That's all I ask. Interesting. There's actually a storage room in the back. We can easily clear it out. Would that space work for you? It's pretty tight, but super easy to maintain. I'll send our daily schedule and rules. Give me 5 minutes. Mom fiercely grabs Dad by the arm. Not another single word. I'll deal with you later. She spots me hitting the stairs and grabs my sleeve. This house has plenty of room, Marcus. Don't leave. You don't even know where your true birth parents are. Where exactly would you even go? Ethan suddenly steps in, grabbing my other arm. Mom's completely right, Marcus. You can't go back there. I went through absolute chaos with those people. I won't let you suffer. My adoptive parents are complete monsters. You and I leave it here. Ethan begs him to never respond. Not even once. Stick with me. You are about to see him lean in close, whispering sharply, "Why play dumb? This is not your home. You know it. You have been living my exact life. What gives you the right to stand around like you own everything? 20+ years was not enough?" I just smile. Fair enough. I will leave right after those DNA results arrive. Ethan seriously did not expect me to stay this calm. While waiting for those results, I have absolutely zero interest in entertaining his drama. But the guy will not quit. Every time we are alone, he finds some annoying new way to get under my skin. All perfectly designed to make me walk out voluntarily. Honestly, sometimes I really wonder if he has any actual backbone at all. So petty, constantly faking tears, and the schemes just endless, pathetic little schemes. He literally waits until I open a package, then starts his passive-aggressive little commentary. "Wow, Marcus, your taste is insane. That coat must cost an absolute fortune." Not like me though. I never, ever spend money on myself. Have not bought clothes in years. Mom melts instantly. "Oh, sweetheart. Mom will buy you whatever you possibly need." Ethan flips the switch instantly, playing the totally devoted son. "No, you guys already work so incredibly hard. I do not want anything. Just being close to you is enough." To prove his fake frugality, he literally insists on saving completely picked clean chicken bones from our dinner. He claims he will make morning broth from them. Now, pay attention. Here is where it gets crazy. He literally hovers near the stairs. When Mom appears, he grabs my hand, staggering backward like I totally shoved him down. "Marcus, why did you push me? Is there seriously zero room for me here? I know you resent me for stealing Mom and Dad's attention, but I never asked for any of this. I just want my actual parents. Is that wrong?" I turn to leave without speaking. Mom's sharp voice stops me cold. "Marcus, turn around right now. Apologize and beg Ethan's forgiveness. I fed you, housed you, and raised you for years. Even after learning you are not my biological son, I still did not demand that you leave. And you cannot even show a little, tiny bit of gratitude? I kept you here not so you could ruthlessly bully Ethan. This is way too much. You will apologize properly today, or else, ignoring what your father says, I will personally throw you right out the door." I let her finish, completely unbothered. "Mom, Ethan just arrived. He doesn't know, but surely you have not forgotten. This entire house is covered in active security cameras. Want to check the footage together?" Mom presses her hand to her forehead. "Oh, I forgot. It is perfectly fine. Next time, I must try a completely different storyline. Maybe a new character type. This plot was way too stupid. Not my vibe. That broken, deeply wounded, pitiful little act you pulled when you first arrived, that was good. That act actually works on me." Ethan's voice goes tight. "What are you saying? Are you implying I am acting? That I am framing Marcus?" "No, not at all. That is not what I meant." His jaw tightens. "Then if that is not what you meant, why stand there watching, knowing perfectly well the cameras were rolling? You let me make a total fool out of myself here. Is that what I am to this family? A simple performing monkey?" Mom tilts her head. "So, did I mean it or not?" As Ethan starts spiraling, his fake composure finally shatters completely. He just bursts right into tears. You saw that coming, right? This is zero fun. All fake drama, zero skill. Dad should honestly just fake those DNA results and kick him out. I let out a massive sigh. You and Dad really are totally made for each other. Cut from the exact same cloth. Next morning, Dad calls an urgent family meeting. Everyone downstairs, right now. Leo comes skidding down the stairs fast. Are the DNA results finally in? Just great. This house already has plenty of totally unhinged people. And now, we add another. I am losing my mind. Ethan clearly has not slept at all. His composure is totally slipping. Since the results are in, what exactly do you guys plan to do? As far as I know, Marcus has several massive properties and bank accounts. All those lavish birthday gifts from you over the years. Coming of age presents. I can overlook him staying here. But everything he took that rightfully belongs to me, that absolutely needs returning. And that fancy engagement to the Lane family daughter, that cannot stand anymore. Have you actually spoken to the Lanes? Are they calling it off, or simply planning to swap out the groom instead? Personally, think the engagement continues. I have seen the girl. She is stunning. Dad cuts him right off. Hold on. Look at this first. Ethan hastily tears open the envelope. His face goes totally blank. This cannot be right. How am I not your son? I heard my adoptive parents. I heard them say so clearly that they switched the babies on purpose. They wanted a privileged life for their real kid, taking their anger out on me daily. Mom looks totally puzzled. So what do you and I make of this insane twist? Stick with me, guys. How did Dad know so incredibly fast? I definitely did not call him. I just shrugged. Nope, not me. I have literally been right beside you. Think about it. It has only been a few minutes. No way he faked those DNA results that fast. Mom slowly nods, thinking it over. Is this that crazy sixth sense married couples always have? Ethan glares right at me. Someone totally swapped those hair samples. It was you, wasn't it? You just refuse to lose this rich life. You just won't let me have Chloe, so you completely swapped the hair. Totally shameless, honestly. Exactly like your actual pathetic biological parents. Way too lazy to earn a real living. Always trying to steal another guy's life and cash. Absolutely disgusting. Totally despicable. He actually violently swings at me. His furious punch is way weaker than his terrible acting. But suddenly, the wild drama is cut totally short. A super familiar, sweet scent slowly drifts up behind me. Wait, Chloe is standing right there. And get this, she definitely did not come alone. Mr. Lane is with her. Dad's face scrunches up like he swallowed something nasty. What are you doing here? Mr. Lane simply smiles, remaining totally calm. Weren't you the one who invited me? Pure elegance and complete composure. Dad has literally always hated his guts. Apparently, back then, and Mr. Lane had a little romance. A huge misunderstanding tore them completely apart. Mr. Lane never moved on. He aggressively pushed until he finally forced an arranged engagement between our two families. Dad was completely against this setup, but for Mom's sake, he had absolutely no choice but to agree. Over time, Dad actually grew fond of Chloe, but he absolutely refused to let Mr. Lane ever win. So for literal years, Dad has quietly hunted for any solid excuse to finally break this engagement off. Now pay attention here. Dad willingly inviting Mr. Lane over? Highly suspicious. Mr. Lane just calmly continues his smooth talking. You reached out days ago, clearly claiming there was a massive mix-up with the kids. You really wanted to discuss ending the engagement or just swapping out the groom entirely. I was away on business, got back just today, and immediately rushed straight over here. Dad's eye absolutely twitches. The DNA results conveniently dropped today, and you instantly show up now? Who are you fooling? Dad clearly set up a super careful trap, but Mr. Lane beautifully sidestepped it. A totally clean miss again. I really have to admit, the man is so sly. Zero weak spots. Ethan nervously glances over at Chloe, right beside me. He nervously fixes his collar and loudly launches into an introduction. I'm actually your real fiancé, the true heir. He confidently steps right toward her. Chloe confusedly looks at me. Who is this? Is he here specifically for me? Some major mistakes you just never survive. Bad words are definitely one of them. Just stay put. It's way too chaotic, Marcus. Come crash at my house for a few days to get some peace. Dad sharply cuts in. I know exactly what sneaky little plans you are currently calculating. Why on earth would Marcus ever stay at your place? The DNA results are right here. Why are you just stirring drama up? If you want someone, take the fake guy. Keep your hands completely off my son. Ethan's face turns completely red. I completely refuse to believe this. I demand another DNA test. Leo suddenly pipes up. Ethan honestly looks exactly like Mom. What if Dad totally made a mistake? Maybe we should test it again, just to be absolutely sure. Mom waves it off. Not necessary. I have a very ordinary face. Tons of people look exactly like me. It honestly means nothing. Dad angrily glances at me. Running another test. Works fine. I heavily rub my tired forehead. All this crazy drama just to end right back at square one. Dad strictly faces Mr. Lane. My son's status is completely unknown right now. So which exactly is it? Do you want an engagement with the actual heir, or do you specifically want Marcus? Just give me a straight answer. I see, Dad, practically rubbing his eager hands. Desperate for Mr. Lane to pick a side so he can thoroughly destroy him in front of Mom. I know what you're thinking. I honestly just cover my eyes. Why flex his massive ego at a time like this? Mr. Lane replies smoothly. Zero panic. Mark, look closely at your father. The second he doubts you are actually his, he trades you away. Zero hesitation. Instantly thrown out onto the street like absolute, literal trash. He completely ignored how your mom might feel. If it was me, I would literally collapse from pure blinding panic before handling a single second of this absolute mess. How could I possibly manage everything else? Honestly, your ruthless father is definitely the much stronger and way more capable man right here. Makes total, complete sense why Mom picked him. Mom reads way too many cheesy romance novels, so this smooth talk hits her right in the heart. Perfectly. She stares deeply at Harold, like he is a completely different, totally unknown stranger. Dad's furious voice turns incredibly dark and sharp. Get out of my house. You are petty, and you will never, ever change. How many times must I loudly explain this? There was absolutely nothing between your mom and me. Just friends. That is all. But you never actually believe me. Always finding sick ways to completely ruin Marcus and Chloe's engagement. What kind of terrible father does that? Mr. Lane sighs, sounding incredibly hurt. Vivian, please do not blame him. It is entirely my fault for being so completely and totally useless. My daughter heavily suffers too, and that's where we pause. Dad glares, furiously grinding his teeth. Let's jump into the wildest family drama you've ever seen. I step in, blocking Mom. Listen, we just need to run those DNA tests again. No need. Dad doesn't even flinch here. Marcus is our son. I am absolutely certain. And nobody is conning him away. Mr. Lane just turns to Dad, flashing this soft little smile. My bad. I honestly didn't realize I was the main target here. Honestly, as long as Vivian is completely happy, I am good. Dad looks ready to literally explode. Chloe glares right at me. Okay, somebody better explain this madness. Mom tightly grips Dad's arm. You're completely joking, right? You didn't actually switch the babies, did you? Please tell me no. Seriously, what kind of completely sane person here switch him out and decides to swap the whole baby? Ethan's smug confidence totally shatters. No, that cannot be real. I am your real son. Mom, Dad, how can you just reject me? But before anyone even answers, this plain, middle-aged couple aggressively storms right into the room. The guy completely zeroes in on Ethan. Oh, so this is where you've been hiding, faking this entire show just to scam some rich folks, huh? You little rat. I will absolutely wreck you. Think you can just waltz right into money? And you actually have the nerve to claim we stole a kid? Do you even understand the massive prison time a charge like that carries? I will ruin you. Meanwhile, across the room, The woman suddenly locks eyes with me. Her expression? It is filled with nothing but pure warmth. Chloe steps right up to me. Are you still keeping us in total suspense? What is happening? She casually walks toward the lady. Ma'am, let me take a wild guess here. Dad instantly spins around. Quiet. You are way too young for this. Your dad already gives me massive headaches. And now, you want to steal my spotlight? Are you actively trying to get in trouble? Sensing the actual threat in the room, Chloe backs off, and Dad finally drops the absolute truth. Now, pay close attention here. Turns out, while we waited for those DNA results, Dad was secretly running a massive private investigation of his own. He completely tracked down those old hospital records, cross-referenced everything with the DNA test, and finally pieced together the real story of that night. The Reeds totally did switch the babies back then. That part was completely true. Ethan was not lying there. But here is the crazy part. They totally missed. The night baby Ethan was placed by Mom, he basically screamed non-stop, waking her up dozens of times all night long. Mom had finally reached her limit. Harold, please do something. All this kid does is cry. I cannot take this. Dad would do absolutely anything for Mom, right? Plus, getting super annoyed by the second. He just grabbed baby Ethan and started casually wandering the entire maternity ward floor. There were exactly 5 newborns there. Dad literally just picked the coolest looking one and brought him straight home. Yep, that baby was me. The Reeds go completely pale. What? No, that is impossible. Things like this do not just happen. All these years we abused our actual son? You are absolutely lying. This is totally fake. You just think Ethan is broken. So you are making this up to drop us, right? Mr. Reed furiously jabs a finger. I knew it. There is no way a giant mansion like this has zero security or even an alarm. Mrs. Reed totally agrees. Exactly. It has to be a giant trap. Chloe just tilts her head at Dad. How are you so sure about this? What makes you completely certain Marcus is really yours? Just one DNA test? Dad scoffs loud. He whips out a massive stack of thick papers. One DNA test might be wrong, but all of these cannot be. Marcus and Mom, Marcus and Dad, Marcus and Leo, Ethan and Mom, Ethan and Dad, plus Ethan and Leo. That is how the Hills operate. Extremely thorough. You and I did not see this coming. Dad called the cops, because his investigation actually uncovered a totally different, massive crime. The Reeds were actually linked to a huge string of trafficking cases. Since the baby swap worked out so perfectly, they had a very dark idea. Why not turn it into a full business? The more those villains thought about it, the more genius it seemed. So, they actually went and did it. And why did Ethan look exactly like Mom? Before showing up, he got some very sneaky cosmetic surgery done. By his own estimate, roughly 40% altered. He figured regular DNA alone wouldn't beat 20 years of history with my family. So, he literally bought a face matching Mom to totally tip the odds in his favor. He specifically chose Mom's features, assuming women would just naturally be way more emotional and easily manipulated. What he totally forgot was that our family follows absolutely zero scripts. What a complete waste of a face. Once the Reeds were finally dragged away, Ethan wasted zero time. He just started appearing everywhere, bothering me, but constantly hovering around Chloe. Chloe, I'm just so sorry. I had absolutely no clue my parents were capable of this darkness. I never knew things would end up like this. Can you please forgive me? My claim to this wealthy family was totally fake. But my romantic feelings for you are completely real. Will you just give me one fair chance to prove myself? Let me prove that besides luck, every single thing about me beats Marcus Hill. I have heard enough. Ethan, get out now. I immediately wave security over. So what do we make of this? Ethan gets tossed out, while Chloe stares, confused. Why apologize to me? I just laugh. Stick with me here. You and I are about to unravel this wild mystery. What other excuse does he have? Chloe looks away. She tells him to stop smiling. This whole mess has nothing to do with her. Last time, the guy tried kissing her uninvited. She completely smacked him for it. She swears there is zero chance they end up together, whether he is around or not. Total creep. Here is the catch though. This private club requires $1 million membership, and she definitely did not invite him inside. So how did he sneak in? I think hard about it. Someone rich must have helped him out. How else could he track my schedule perfectly? Chloe mentions the rivalry between our dads is getting pretty intense lately. Her dad never really liked my dad from the start, but he was always surprisingly polite to me anyway. Ever since the real heir drama exploded, he hardly even looks my way. I ask if Ethan maybe used my dad's fancy club card. Chloe shuts that down fast. She refuses to say it, terrified my dad will blame her for starting drama. I just smile. Chloe acts so sweet and soft, but she secretly takes little jabs at my dad whenever she gets the chance. It is honestly impressive. My dad and I view the world differently, but the pieces of this puzzle just do not fit together. Recently, because mom keeps ignoring dad, he has been taking all his frustration out on the Lane family instead. But this crazy event pulled all his secret anger for them right into the spotlight, right in front of mom. He knows that looks terrible. Would he really be that super obvious? Sending Ethan just to cause drama around Chloe? I stand up. Time for a real family chat. Now watch closely, because this is where the story completely flips on us. I never even make it home. I wake up totally tied up, blinking my eyes. The ground is rocking. A boat. My arms and legs are bound with heavy rope. I can barely move. They want to dump him in the ocean where nobody will look. So, the plot thickens. Ethan was actually targeting me this entire time. I assumed he wanted Chloe, but even if they make me vanish, Ethan cannot just take over as the true Hill family heir. I'm seriously confused. Going through all this trouble just to break loss? Mr. Reed scoffs. Nice try. He knows I am bluffing. Honestly, that is fair. A guy running a shady smuggling ring for years without getting caught will not fall for a basic trick question. You think I am clueless? You think I will just spill my secrets? Ethan and I split up. He distracts that clueless Lane girl. I handle you. You disappear without leaving a single trace behind. Your parents get desperate and lonely, so they adopt Ethan. He takes your exact spot. He cares for them like a real son. Wait, did you and I just uncover the wildest baby swap plot ever? They want the Hill fortune. He chuckles loudly. Mrs. Reed is totally annoyed. She tells him to shut up before he accidentally broadcasts their entire master plan to everyone. Just do it now, she demands, with freezing eyes. If things went perfectly, you would be the one suffering for all those years. Not sweet, Ethan. Remembering his awful past makes me want to punish you for every single second. Consider yourself lucky. I will finish this fast. Mr. Reed steps forward. I interrupt immediately. Hold on. Do you genuinely believe Ethan is loyal? After the years of pain you caused him? He has every excuse to resent you. Why help you out? He just used your kidnapping plan. He is letting you commit the ultimate crime. He wants you behind bars. Plus, do not forget I have a brother. Losing one kid would wreck my parents completely. Would they really hand over their massive wealth to a random stranger? Is that the strategy? Ethan told you this fairy tale, and you guys actually bought it? Check out this jacket pin. It is live streaming to the cloud right now. Once we dock, Ethan and the cops are waiting. If I disappear, Ethan cannot just easily waltz in and claim my throne. But if I am gone, and he is the hero who hands you over to the authorities, my parents might actually be thankful enough to formally adopt him instead. He slips into my life, wins the girl, and lives like royalty. And you two are just the stepping stones he stomped on. Do not listen to him. Mrs. Reed interrupts. Ethan would never betray us. Just finish this right now. He is trying to trick us. I yell back. I am not stupid. The only guy trapped in this room right now is Mr. Reed himself. The cops are building the smuggling case, but if she forces you to eliminate me, that changes everything. So what do you and I make of this? She wants to ditch him, take Ethan and run. Stick with me here. Think about it. If that is not the plan, why make you do it? Why not just handle it entirely by herself? Something shifts behind Mr. Reed's eyes, like a real thought finally forming right there. He looks over at Mrs. Reed, sitting there cold as ice, totally ready to strike. And boom, the next second, they are just aggressively tearing into each other right on the boat. Then my dad suddenly shows up, right on cue. Chloe looks at me, her hand still shaking slightly. I am so glad you are safe. Luckily, that necklace was cheap. They ignored it. That is exactly how they tracked my signal so incredibly fast. When I was 5 years old, Dad actually bought this exact necklace as a birthday gift for Mom. Right around that time, Mom was completely obsessed with this brand new cross necklace. She stared at the photo every single day, just counting down until she could grab one. The exact second it officially dropped. Dad wanted to be wildly romantic. He memorized every tiny detail, planning to snag it as her perfect birthday gift. But obviously, after all that hype, it completely sold out in minutes. Later, walking home, he just happened to pass by a dollar store, and right in the window display, an identical cross necklace. Dad confidently marched in, bought it, and felt super proud. The grand result? A massive scolding and a solid week sleeping in another room. Honey, just think about how sweet this is, Dad argued. If anything bad ever happens to you, I can find you instantly. I will always be there. Seriously, that is the worst excuse ever made. Even a terrible web novelist dragging out chapters would not write something so utterly cheesy. Get out. So, the cheap necklace finally came over to me. I never took the thing off. It was my way of appreciating his sweet intention. That finally melted Mom's anger, so Dad could buy her the real, authentic one. After that drama, just kept wearing the cheap copy totally out of habit. Never removed it once. Now watch this. Today, it actually saved my life. Wait, Dad, I ask him directly. Why did Ethan have your VIP membership card? I keep my tone totally flat, but I am demanding answers. If I did not trust that familiar place, I never would have dropped my guard like that. Dad just blinks. Did I? I have absolutely no clue about that, son. He deflects. Were you not hanging out at Mr. Lane's club? You got snatched right under his nose, and the guy had absolutely no idea at all. What is that man even good for? You cannot just let this slide, Marcus. Make him pay. Mr. Lane sighs softly. He is right. My mistake. Dad pounces on it eagerly. See? He freely confesses. If he kept the doors completely locked, Ethan never would have entered the club. Also, Dad. I snap out loud, totally cutting him off right there. Do you want to explain yourself to me right now? Or should we go chat with Mom instead? Dad freezes up instantly. Come on, son. Give me a break. It was that face. He was wearing your mother's face. The moment I discovered he was not my son, looking at him genuinely made my skin crawl. I offered to pay for surgery, bring his original face back. He demanded one specific condition to do it. My VIP club card. I had absolutely no clue things would explode like this. I never would have surrendered it if I knew. Very quickly, Mr. and Mrs. Reed get fully arrested. Already facing trafficking charges, they just added kidnapping. 15 years behind bars, at the absolute minimum. Ethan, being the accomplice, absolutely should pay too. But Mrs. Reed bravely took the fall. She aggressively claimed full responsibility for everything. She fought until Ethan walked out, totally spotless, officially oblivious to everything. 0 charges. But on his first day free, Dad had some guys waiting. They dragged him straight to a cosmetic clinic and forcefully restored his original face. You and I know what happens next. When he finds me, I barely recognize him. Why didn't you just sink straight to the ocean floor? You were supposed to vanish completely. Then Mom and Dad would have loved me. Chloe would be mine. This is completely wrong, fair garbage. It was never supposed to go like this. I was incredibly close. I was almost there. I am supposed to be the main character. Everyone is supposed to always love and fiercely protect me. This is completely wrong. The story changed. None of the web novels I have read ended like this. I quietly pull out my phone and hit record. No wonder he acted like a weirdo. Too many cheesy romance novels. Way too many. I saved the video and forward it to Mom. Are you seeing this insanity? This is exactly what happens when you read too much trashy romance. Your brain breaks. Mom's voice answers through the phone, sounding totally dignified. I deleted every single one of those apps. I do not read them anymore. Ask Leo. Have I dragged him into any dramatic scenes lately? Absolutely not. Once, your mother has matured. You can fully trust me now. But I heard otherwise. Apparently, the real reason Dad was so completely obsessed with Ethan's face was because Mom started telling everyone Dad changed, stopped loving her, and secretly kept a young lookalike on the side. So what do you and I take from this? I refuse to waste another word on Ethan. I just generously arrange him a permanent stay at the city's finest psychiatric facility. Stick with me here. I gather his daily updates, uploading a fun report straight to Mom's favorite reading app. Highly educational stuff. But later on, I hear poor Ethan is absolutely losing his mind in there. He is a total emotional mess, shouting that our world is fake, just some novel, and he's the villain. He whines about wanting to be a good guy, claiming he gets zero choice. Why? Because if he stops causing wild drama, the mysterious author loses the plot. Watch closely now. The word count drops, deadlines vanish, proving he is an amateur writer. Then, the doctor grabs me. Sometimes he completely melts down, blaming himself. But other times, he is perfectly calm and incredibly sharp. From inside the room, Ethan loudly declares that the real and fake heirs do not need a rivalry. He claims we could actually be a cute romantic duo. He read all about it, begging for his freedom. You and I know exactly how this works. Up his dosage.